Hi, I'm Kathy from Educational Connections, and we're doing a series of short videos to answer some commonly asked questions that we get from our parents. The question today is, how do we know it's working? So you have decided to join us and use our executive function skill coaching services, and you want to know how to tell if it's working or not. So the first thing I would say is that we need to understand that this is a process. So think of any habit you've ever tried to change or incorporate or improve. It doesn't happen overnight. So we have to keep in mind that these are long-term goals that will be attained over time. The next thing to remember is that everyone comes to this place and a different stage on a continuum. So we use a model called the Stages of Change model, and depending on where your child sits on that continuum will inform how long the process might take. When you are looking to see if the process is actually working, you want to think in terms of two different types of information. The first one is observational, and the second one is more data, hard evidence. So in the observational arena, I would say the first one is they're not complaining about getting on a session. That may sound small, it may sound silly, but it's not. If they go right up to the room, sit down at their desk, log into the computer, it means they at least see some value. However small at that moment, they're seeing some value in it, and they're willing to say, all right, I'll try it out and see if this might help me. The second thing is engagement in the session. If the coach tells you after that they were very engaged, or you even hear them, down the hall, they're talking to the coach, they're laughing, they're asking questions, that's a big win. So that means that they are, again, starting to realize that this could have some benefit for them, okay? They're willing to try new strategies. All of a sudden, your child who has said, I will never use a planner, I will never record my assignments, I don't need to do that, I can remember how to do that. You suddenly notice that in some way, it may not be a paper planner, but in some way, they are coming up with a system that works to keep track of assignments. And the last one is that they're actually, you might notice they're going into a session with a plan of their own. I can't wait to sit down with Tom today because I really want him to help me with my 5-paragraph essay for English. That's huge. And again, they sound like little tiny pieces, but this is what this is about. It's little micro goals that build up to the long-term big goals that we want your student to attain. When you look at data, so now we're looking at sort of more hardcore or concrete evidence, you want to look at things like grades, right? So are the grades moving or trending at least in the direction we want them to go? How about the session notes? So you'll get session notes from your coach after every time they meet, and you will see in the notes a progression over time. So you will see the goals that they were working towards, what they were doing to get there, and how it went. You will see areas of strength, you will see areas that still need improvement, and you will see what the coach has planned for subsequent sessions, but you will start to notice a trend over time. It's like progress monitoring. So you will get to see that it is actually working because they are moving along the continuum towards their goals. And the last thing too is touch base with the teachers. And I don't mean just in terms of grades, but anecdotal information from them. They might say to you that your student is initiating tasks much more effectively and efficiently than he was before. They might say that there's been a huge reduction in the amount of late assignments turned in. Those are all great pieces of evidence that the process is working. But again, keep in mind, you have to be patient. It is effective. It does take time. Okay, if you have any other questions or want me to go a little bit deeper on this topic, use the scan code and put yourself on my calendar and we can chat. Thank you for listening.